Welcome to Story Smash, the storytelling game show. Please welcome the creator of the Story Smash, Christine Blackbird.
My name is Christine Blackbird. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Let's get started right away and reveal the Wheel of Stories. There are 12 prominent topics on the wheel. Topics like vacation, mom, drunk tank, breaking up, and hooking up. And then there's one space that says free. If the contestant lands on free, they can choose any topic on the wheel. And there's 3 spaces that say audience. And if the wheel lands on audience, then it's your turn, you guys, to shout out your favorite storytelling topics. And our professional judges, that's right, professional judges, will choose one to be their topic. All right, you guys, speaking of guest judges, let's bring them on right away. He is a judge and he is a writer who wrote in the Emmy Award-winning Modern Family for its entire 11-year run. He's also the author of this book I hold in my right hand. He started it, my Twitter war with Donald Trump. This guy has won 5 Emmys and he'll never let us forget it. Put your hands together for Danny Zuko! All right, you guys, this next judge, I am so happy she's here tonight. She is an author, a playwright, and a performer. She has written several books, including the ones I hold in my hand. Death Takes a Holiday, The Mad Woman in the Volvo, The Mad Woman in the Roomba, and A Year in Van Nuys. She's also a playwright, and she wrote a play called Mad Women of the West. She did a production here in LA, a production off Broadway, and then she took the play to London. Holy cow, I'm super glad she's here. Please welcome the very talented Sandra Tsing He's a comedian and a writer, and he's a broadcaster for the LA Journey Dolls. He also does stand-up all over town, and you can hear him on the Nerd Poker Podcast. Please welcome the very talented Blaine Capatch! All right, you guys. Well, we're very excited to be here. And tonight we're playing 3 rounds of the game. Now, the first round is going to be a true 1-minute story. Yes? Okay.
Okay, we'll go with that.
And the second round is a true 2-minute story.
Push the
That's right. And then 2 contestants go into the third round for a true 3-minute story. Sandra, what do you think would be hardest to tell? A 1-minute story or a 3-minute story?
3 for sure, because there's going to be that sag in the middle, that sag, like 1 minute we're all going, will they make it through? But this is going to be about 170 seconds. There's going to be a little sag.
Yeah.
And it's got to come back.
And that's hard to do.
I know, radio, you got to do it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you know this, Sandra, but we do fact check all the stories.
I did not know that.
Yes, that is true.
In a Trumpian way.
we have to do a fake check.
Now, guys, the judges are actually judging on 3 categories. They're judging on the time. Yeah, the contestants have to watch their own clock, and they don't want to go over the time because if they do, they'll hear this. Something like that.
That's so scary.
It's not really that intimidating. But if Danny gets a bottle out and crashes you over the head, that would be...
It would be horrible.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And
We'll never do that.
they're also going to be judging on the story itself. You know, what is the story they're telling? And then they're judging on
Swimsuit.
swimsuit. That's right. Swimsuit will wrap up the evening, and we are so happy you guys are here. Thank you so much for coming out. Any questions, Blaine?
Yeah. Do you think Gelson's is going to be open at 5?
I think
get soy
Kelsey's
milk and I have to get some Smart Start.
okay. I think Kelsey's till 10, isn't it? Open till 10?
12.
Oh, 12.
Wow. You need to calm down. That was a lot of energy over there. Holy, I've not been that passionate about anything.
I'm always here so
Okay. Microdosing acid meant to go to the Elson Stillman. Yeah, pretty
You
sweet
guys
tonight.
together?
All right, now here's what's important. The contestants tonight are playing for big cash and prizes. Did you know that?
No.
Oh, wait, there's no cash. I forgot. But there are prizes, and the first thing up that they're going to win is this Story Smash Attitude. Story Smash Attitude. And this little baby will set you back $20, makes a fine gift for Father's Day.
Oh, shit. Father's Day.
The winner is also getting my homemade chocolate chip cookies. My homemade chocolate chip cookies. Let's face it, that's why you all came.
Yeah.
And now we've got four names in the bucket. There's 3 names and then 1 name that says audience.
Uh-oh.
Because Sandy, there's an audience member play. Did I tell you?
Oh, they're doing that. Oh, they're always terrible. No, you don't have.
Well, that could be, but we're gonna hope tonight. We'll see.
Let's break the cycle, guys.
Okay, let's do it. All right, you guys. All right, I got the first contestant in my hand. All right, you guys, here we go. This contestant, he is a stand-up comedian, a writer, and an actor. He's originally from Chicago, Illinois, and he has performed on Broadway, but he was actually doing stand-up comedy. How about that? Put your hands together for very talented Josh Mann.
Terrified of this week.
Birthdays.
Birthday.
So you start when you're ready, Josh. Keep your eye on the clock.
Okay. I ruined my ex's birthday and Christmas all in one ride. I flew to New York for my ex. We were talking about her birthday and also upcoming Christmas. She said she was planning on celebrating Christmas with her husband and their kids because she practiced ethical non-monogamy, which is like New York for wealthy people who are bored. And she also practiced a thing called radical honesty. I don't know if you know this. Not a thing. We were in the car and she was talking about how Santa was bringing her kids gifts. And I gave her a look. And she was like, what? Because I have the impulse control of an 8-year-old autistic boy at a cupcake factory. I said, Santa's not real. We're going to tell the kids Santa's real. And then in the backseat, the kids started crying.
Josh Mann. Well, I thought it was a very good start. Maybe two.
So full disclosure, I know Josh, but I can still be fair because I don't like him. That's the one thing we have in common. I know. You both hate me. Really good story, man. From beginning to end, it was funny. I know that I'm not swept up at the ethical non-monogamy part. It turned out it was just non-monogamy, and there was nothing ethical about it. Not for me. I practiced insecurity and jealousy too, and you know her. Anyway, it brought up a lot of bad feelings for me. And anytime you can ruin that kid's childhood by just in everything. So 5 million points.
All right, well, that's a good score. Sandra.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I've been married, I've had children, et cetera, et cetera. So I laughed and cried. I held it inside. Oh, but as a lady in a certain age, I'm like, how old was it? That would really upset the because I don't know how old you are. You look very youthful. But I don't see very well. So, and yeah. So, I would put it, I was excited the opening, and I just wanted to know how old she was, and that
She is 41 now.
41 now. Okay, so I would give it 4 out of 5.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's
As a reminder, there are no points in this game.
so far I'm a 4
Playing a
big.
match.
It keeps me focused. In an autistic 10-year-old way.
Layla's mortified.
What's this about? Christmas being. There's no Santa? What is it?
No, Hanukkah's real. So Christmas is a sham.
It's like that. I'm so smooth, like you're gonna be fine.
Somebody go after it.
Could you tell me more about the cupcake?
I do have one question. What was the birthday part of the story? Did you land it on birthdays?
Oh, it was her birthday, so I flew out to New York for her birthday.
I see.
Oh, she went home with her husband.
Wow, that was a
Didn't you
great
think
story.
you were going to hook up?
We did the next night.
You gotta stay for the credits because there's always a bonus scene.
Oh boy! The audience members. So Jim Coughlin, come on up with the stories. The Tanner Troop is saying, and if Danny's hooked or Danny, let us know who is playing tonight. And let's keep in mind, this is not easy. Oh my God. We can only have one person come up in.
I know, I got it. Joe! J-O! Joe.
The spin brought to you by Bathrobes. Keep your dick in the cold sink.
Oh my God, he landed on birthdays. Wow, we've all had them. We should get something out of this. Okay, Joe, whenever you're ready.
My 18th birthday, my dad promised me all kinds of things. I didn't get any of them. Instead, he went to Tijuana while my mom and younger brother were visiting her family in Mexico. And my dog, my Chihuahua of like 12 years, had prostate cancer. And it was up to me to pay for all of his expenses and to keep my dad's auto parts store running. And my dog's dying, and I have to like leave it every so often to like take him to the vet. And so my friends were like, "Hey Joe, you're going through a rough time. How about we take you to the UCD theater?" I'm like, "Oh sure, I'll catch a show at the UCD theater." And I didn't have any money for food because I was spending it all on like vet appointments. And I had heard of this. I had like a can of peaches somewhere in a vat, and it had whipped cream. And I had heard of peaches and cream. So I had that. I didn't know I was allergic to peaches. I go to the show at the UCB theater, and the bathroom's right there. And before the show, I decided to go, but I don't finish as I'm expelling my diarrhea. And I'm like, come back to my seat, and the show had started. My friends go, "Hey, Joe, we heard the whole thing."
Well, that went so many places, and any story that has like a dog with prostate cancer is funny. It's gonna be a big laugh. Tijuana, just did the dog prostate, and then auto parts. So same dog parts, and something like that. But yeah, I got like kind of it was just kind of like being on acid. Listening, but you went over time, so I have to give you like a negative $1 million. 4.5 you would have got, and some cookies.
Okay, blink of bats.
I think you made that all up. Was the dog like getting up in the middle of the night to go via lunch?
No, but he just was like practically dead in his.
That is common.
And how old? 12. Jesus, that's like 98 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like a senator. So now I had prostate cancer. Do you think that I could maybe see your dog's vet for some follow-ups?
Well, the dog died, so I wouldn't recommend it.
What did you? Oh, right, the prostate cancer. Now, speaking of vets, is the auto parts store still open?
No, it was 3 months down like 8 years ago.
Wow, and the store had cancer.
That's funny. That's
I
funny.
thought it was you came up here fully loaded and you had a diarrhea dismount 8 billion points.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of points. Danny?
So overall, an amazing story. You just came up here and did it. If I had one note, and I hope we'll take it in the spirit intended, too Mexican, I think.
Pronouncing
I'm good. And what bothered me about the pronunciation of Tijuana when you did it was do not afford the Chihuahua the same accent. And I felt like you can't go in and out of it like a TV like weather woman like Linda. You can't go out of it. I don't think it's fair. So just be consistent on that part of the story. And I know my attack who was suffering from ED, so I know how this goes, and I'm the pain of it all, and yeah, that's it. My dad died of prostate cancer. Anyway, we were close. Deep breath.
Joe, one question for Joe. Where was the birthday in this story?
It was my 18th birthday.
That whole thing.
It was your 18th birthday. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Joe. Good man.
Someone tells me in that store in the category was Christmas, so this happened on Christmas.
Oh yeah, okay, man, it all works. All right, you guys.
Dad had erectile dysfunction.
He just wasn't responding like he used to.
Yeah, interesting. You guys, this next contestant coming to the state hails from the great state of Indiana, and he spent his formative years in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. Have you heard of that?
Slowly I turned.
This guy's been working in LA on as a television writer for over 2 decades. He's also an accomplished voiceover actor, and he's voiced characters on numerous animated series, including Family Guy, American Dad, BoJack Horseman, Animaniacs, regular show, and also a zillion video games. That's right. All right, guys, please welcome the very talented Chris
I thought I counted you. It's been brought to you by KY Jelly. You need to fuck Kentucky.
Oh, audience. Oh, this is so exciting. My favorite part of the show. So now let's go to this section of the audience. What kind of stories would you guys like to hear?
Cheating on your sex story.
Okay. How about over here?
Losing your virginity.
Losing your virginity.
Cats.
What? Cats?
Music virgin.
Losing your virginity to cats. Okay, you guys.
Choo-choo train.
Shrine.
Cowboy.
Train.
I heard an old man say choo choo.
How about you guys?
Columbo.
Podcast. High school reunion. Podcast. High school reunion.
Any of those appeal to you? If you had to just pick one of those.
Losing my virginity.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so it's Dallas, Texas, my formative years, and I'm with my girlfriend, and we drop off her sister and her friends at a movie, and we've got an hour and a half to kill. And so my girlfriend says, "Hey, would you like to go to an open house?" As you do. I have no idea. I'm like, what do you mean? It's 8 o'clock at night. She goes, "Well, there's this open house nearby, and it's unlocked." Now, I should have wondered, why do you know about that? Have you done this before? But I went, sure, let's go. So we go to this open house. We go in, and things start happening. Virginities are being lost. And then suddenly, woo! It's not a man doing that. There's actually there's a police car in the driveway. I see the blue lights through the window, and I'm like, oh, fuck, good. Oh, fuck. And literally, her panties on the ground. I'm like, we got to go hide. We go hide in the bathroom. It's a slatted closet. Policeman comes in. Unbelievable, just like in a horror movie, the living slats. He doesn't actually do it. So I'm like, we're not going to get out of this. I have to go. I walk after him. Excuse me, sir. Sorry. Excuse me, sir. Gun right in my head. This was my. I literally saw my life flash before my eyes, and that was that. They did not tell my parents.
Never knew I lost my virginity in an open house
And almost got, as the cop said, you almost got your shit blown off.
Wow. Very
I'm sure that was-
exciting. Blake the Batch.
And now you can't come without a gun in your face.
Back with the Goo Goo Dolls after this.
And that was right, Chris. You won overtime, but I don't care because it ended with a gun in your face. Sounds nice. Yeah. You
Danny.
lost it.
All right, Danny.
I just love that you thought, she said, I believe an hour and a half. Like that you thought the time you're losing your virginity was going to take that long. That's amazing. Yeah, that's what I've done it many times. Yeah, really good story. You definitely ran the light. You know, that was that was a little bit, that was the Irishman of one of the sorts. Like real funny as fuck.
All right, Sandra.
Oh, the speed was amazing, and the gestures and stuff. It was confusing in the best way for me.
Yes.
So the open house, that house was open, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. And then when the woo came in, I thought that was like the weirdest orgasm that ever happened. Something from The Exorcist. Oh, so I'm sorry. It's like I was so excited, and then the mug fell over and thought you fell off or something. It was like so there. So yeah. So and that was fantastic. You went over time. I would have given you 5 or 5, and now you just
Wait, can I try to raise it up very quickly by doing rabbit single from all things considered? That would be a choice of good to December single. I was good friends with.
I think I'm
oh wow! And it's ended by.
I do like that you got on solution to going over time was the animal.
To add on. That's me.
Yeah, it is.
All right. I'm sorry. I just had to do that. I've not been in the presence of an NPR.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it's not more of a compliment. You know that.
Thank you.
I lost my virginity on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Chris Cox, let him hear it. Oh, wow. There's only one name back in the bucket, so I know who it is. This is a very talented person. She's a comedian from Santa Barbara County, but she does comedy all over LA and Southern California. Now check this out. She's also a singer-songwriter, yes, a clarinetist, yes, a registered nurse, and she's also a bona fide MILF. Now, I always say that I'm a MILF because that's Amanda Los Feliz. But she's also a MILF. Give it up for Jamil Linton.
It's been brought to you by Stuffed Crust. It's like brushing your teeth with 3 kinds of cheese. Stuffed Crust.
Ghost stories. Take your time.
So my daughter turned 14 and she had a bunch of balloons for a birthday party. And I remember one night the balloons are starting to kind of die off. And there's this one particular balloon hanging out in the living room. And it just like, I don't know if it was the wind or whatever it was, right? But it started like circling around the coffee table. And I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, that thing's not supposed to be doing that. And so like I kind of backed up. I was in the kitchen and then I was just like, and that thing followed me around, right? And then I was like, oh no, like I can't do this. I can't deal with that. So then I went into my room and the room happens to have windows, right? And this balloon followed me to the bedroom and just sat there just floating. And it stared at me the whole night. I freaked out. The next morning, that thing deflated. I could have just popped the balloon. But, you know, freaked me the fuck out. I thought it was ghosts.
All right, Jamil. Now it's time for the beginning, the middle, and the end, Sandra.
Oh my goodness! What that?
Take your mic.
Take my mic. That story opened with the most terrifying sentence that's ever been spoken in the English language. My daughter turned 14.
I have a vibrator that year too.
I have to believe with
That's the story.
Yeah, but left the husband or something like that. And then he woke up and then he rubbed his latex thing. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I apologize. The ghostly 4.7.
Wow.
Playing too fast.
What color balloon was it?
It was a pink balloon.
Wow. So, do you think maybe it was the ghost of a gender reveal?
And I would have been definitely afraid of that too. But I had the script and I was like, we're not doing that anymore.
Wow.
The theater's closed.
Yeah. So, now, what did you think was haunting the balloon? Because it was an all night sucker for you. So, what was what did you think might have been haunting it? Was there a ghost in your house before?
Yeah, there's something inside that house that was kind of a little weird. There's like this weird energy and like doors would like open and close sometimes in midday and like the windows weren't open or anything like that. So it kind of freaked me out, and that balloon doing all that, all of it. It's probably in my head, but
Okay. Well, I peed.
Jamil Linton, under here.
Yeah, well,
Danny, sorry.
I don't have much to add except to I'm good sorry. I just I wish I had the kind of life that was so good that balloons scared me. Instead of that one-handed uncle. Anyway, it was worse for me, guys. No, you did great. Funny story. It's certainly a ghost. My other theory is it was air. but one of those two things is probably true. Good job.
All right, you guys, all 4 names go back into the Story Smash Can of Truth. And now we're going to pull a name. All the contestants are coming back up for a true 2-minute story. Double the fun. Are we ready? Is it shape? Is it good? Ladies and gentlemen, the first person coming up to tell the true 2-minute story is Jamil Linton. Jamil Linton. All right, guys, let's tell her what to do.
Spin that wheel.
You got it.
The spin brought to you by Willie Lomain. Chow Mein and the salesman. Attention must be paid to flavor.
Interviews.
Oh, interviews. Okay, so I got interviewed for this red pill ultra conservative podcast by accident. They told me, they reached out to me and told me it was like dating podcast, right? And it was called Whatever, if you guys have ever heard of that podcast. Anyway, this is last year, and they told me I was going to be there for like 4 hours, and they're very specific about the way that you went into the studio and stuff. I was there for 10 hours. 10 hours. And and the podcast in itself was 7 hours, and I was just frustrated. Who the hell listens to a podcast for 7 hours about like ultra conservatism, right? Like, anyway, I was so frustrated about this fucking podcast, and I left there feeling really sour. And then anyway, a few weeks later, somebody comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you're that person from the podcast." I did not say a word after a certain point when they got saying stuff that was like really offensive to me about women and stuff. I was just like, "Dang," right? And I was like, I can't. They're like, "You were so good on that podcast." And I was like, no, I was not. I just sat there. Anyway, I'm a celebrity for that podcast now. Like, people look at me, like I'll be in like weird places, like in rural towns, and people will be like, "You're that girl on a podcast." I think the thing that was memorable about that was that I talked about how my husband cheated on me with a bunch of guys from Craigslist.
Oh, you buried the lead.
Yeah. He told me while we were in the middle of sex.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
All right, Jamel Minton. Let's What is your match, Brooklyn?
You know, for 10 hours, Chris Box could have lost his virginity 6.5 times. How did they find you? Why did they? Are you a notorious right winger?
No. So I'm a stand-up comedian, right? And I live in Santa Barbara.
The clarinetist. Don't think about the clarinetist.
But they saw my profile and they saw that I was from Santa Barbara. They're like, hey, we're looking for some people to come on the podcast. Like it's going to be about dating and stuff like that. And I guess they had like OnlyFans people too. Like, so they had like a spectrum of people that were like ultra conservative to like ultra liberal, right? And they interviewed them just basically to like the liberal people. They were just pretty much bashing at them, right? So
they were centrists.
Yeah. But they made it sound like it was a dating podcast. And I thought, I needed the exposure as a stand-up comedian. So I was like, why not? And then I immediately regretted it.
You don't post the link on your OnlyFans, do you?
No.
Yeah, don't.
That's not something I'm proud of.
Okay, good. I'm glad you got safe. 8 trillion points.
All right, Danny Zucker.
I like that podcast, and for me, it was like that's why it was hard to listen to a woman talk for 2 minutes. So no, I took out after 30 seconds or so. I want to explain podcasts to you. Actually, so I have to just assume you finished great. It is funny though that the conservative audience thought you were great because you sat there for 13 hours and said nothing. That's like, good job. I'm sorry about that. Also, you can leave a podcast. First of all, you signed up to a podcast knowing it was going to be 4 hours. Like that's what you knew going in.
Yeah, that's what they called.
That's a bananas. You deserve this. Anyway, good job.
All right, Sandra.
So many questions. I think when you said I'm being interviewed for a podcast, I thought you were like interviewing for the job of being on a podcast. So then I said, when it was being played, I just thought, what? So I thought you were going to do some. So I was fine that. And then, and I went to the Craigslist. So that was great. In like 1 minute and 40 seconds, you dropped the bomb of like, because I was like, what are you talking about? Like, but it's like your husband and Dr. Craigslist, and as opposed to the balloon also. And we're and I guess some of which have been posted by Robert Siegel. So I have many questions. And so I guess it's an unrateable story of just, I don't know, hugs and love, Gelson's at midnight, and
we can talk about the Craigslist thing. If you want to later.
Okay.
Okay, after that.
For sure.
Oh, after the show.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry with it.
Did you already go, Glenn?
I already went, but I'll do it again.
Go ahead.
Just waiting to go twice, and you skip. Are we okay?
Danny. 10 hours. Chris Cox could have lost his virginity 6
Give her a round of applause. All right, guys, coming up to the stage to tell a true two-minute story is the one and only Chris Cox. Chris Cox, I'm going to you.
It's been brought to you by Slowly But Surely's husband poison.
Holidays.
You had a very liberal interpretation, so I'm going to go with your liberal interpretation.
Yes,
It was the holiday. It was a holiday. It's a good thing. It's the holiday of my friend's birthday. We all celebrate it every year, like a holiday. His name is Dave. And Dave sort of talks like this, and he's sort of like this whole situation is incognito. If you know Dave, you can appreciate that impression. And if you don't, you just sit there silently like you're so it's a birthday. It's his birthday, and we decide, hey, this is the last birthday where he's gonna have a kid. His wife is pregnant, so we're gonna have some fun. And we had some fun with some substances. And one of the substances is it rhymes with schmo pain. I think that's close. And I had not really done that before. And that's probably a good thing for me. And so we did that. And then I soon realized what schmopain does, which is it causes you to get, or at least me, hyper-focused on a singular subject. And the singular subject is, what the fuck happened to Eddie Murphy? It used to be funny. Why is he doing all these shitty movies? I can't fucking believe it. For the day and all this bullshit. It's just fucking bullshit. He's like, you're right. It is fucking bullshit. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking bullshit. 7 hours later, my friend Chris comes into the kitchen. He's like, what are you guys talking about? I'm like, what happened to Eddie Murphy?
Come on, we got a little more.
You want to hear what? You want to know?
More embarrassing things done.
You want me to talk to his Robert?
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Okay, I'll be Eddie Murphy. I'm like, you know, it was funny when it Hercules. That's funny. Hercules. That's funny. That's funny. But Dave and Pluto was like, that's not funny. That's not funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
Like
It's
more
not funny.
embarrassing things on substances.
What's that?
More embarrassing things you've done on substances.
More embarrassing things.
15 seconds. Yeah.
What have I done that's embarrassing besides schmopain? Well, I mean, I have probably slightly peed my pants in public.
Yes. Okay.
You know,
That's
just
a good one.
slightly.
That's a good ending. All right, wow, that was a big story, Danny.
Boy, that put me in the holiday spirit. That's what I have to bring holidays I spent because the story is so evocative of holidays. Oh, the holiday, you know, the blues, the certain time of year. You know what I like about you? Like,
I really want to know what you like.
you know, I do like you. I do because you're like my own rules. That 1 minute story would be fine. Holidays is gonna be my cocaine story, my friend's birthday. So I have to take off points for that. You're very entertaining though, so I'll put some of those points back.
I imagine.
I'm not sure you landed the plane on this one, but you kept it interesting.
Way off the runway.
Look, we all have things.
I'm not Sully Sullenberg.
I know, you know. I had a storied career, but I also worked on Stacked with Dale Anderson. I think the story was so Stacked.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'll do that right now.
Sandra.
Okay, it's 2 minutes, so now I'm going to get judgy. It's like we're looking for a button now. See, I'm just going to go to that because but I really appreciated the peeing slightly in the past because that the cocaine story was good, but I was looking for the button.
Right.
And then I realized Eddie Murphy was throwing the party, you know, something like that.
Oh, right.
Did my pants, and then it went into the chocolate cake. It was something delivered to Eddie, like something. But if you peed slightly, and then you're a white, I just wanted a button.
I understand.
You know
I
what I'm
could have
saying?
fabricated something, and I didn't. And I'm
pushing back to the Robert Siegel. You know, Robert Siegel went that.
so I've been saying, let's get it. Where's that coming actually? Kaya Misdo has an amazing cocaine story.
I'm Kyrie's dog.
Also a sandwich, you know, they have named a sandwich after you.
Yeah.
Instead of from what would Belush Zorati do?
Deep cut.
Nice. It's deep cut. Very deep. So good.
Lincoln Batch.
I was thinking about that when I was listening to Morning Becomes Eclectic. One of my favorite songs, if you want to get down to the ground, Schmopain. When you said that you were that his wife was pregnant, you were going to do something crazy. I thought you were going to get his wife drunk. I thought that was good. And then after a while, I was wondering, was Dave going to be here?
Here at the.
I was wondering, it was like, was Dave going to be here? No, man, I'm Dave.
Oh,
no. Dave's not here, man. No, man. I thought it was
I understand.
And I was insanely disappointed. Then he brought
Story of my life. I appreciate it.
then he brought it back with a pee a little, and I peed earlier during the ghost story. So I'm going to give you all the points.
All right, Chris Cox, let him hear it. Chris Cox. All right, guys. Coming to the stage right now for a true 2-minute story. Lakshmi Singh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Skip Rusty, my sweet potato fries. Chewy, weird, disappointing. Only $3 more. Sweet potato fries.
Oh, audience, it's so exciting, isn't it? What do you guys want to hear?
Oh, that's far.
Vacation.
No,
Get
give
me
me
on
on the wheel. What else?
Yeah, good job.
My most embarrassing moment.
Most embarrassing moment. First kiss. He gets. What?
Shoot your pants.
Seeing your pants.
Choo-choo train.
Cocaine. Cocaine.
That was mine. Travel. Travel.
Communion. Travel. What do you guys think?
I don't know. Which one of those did you like?
My most embarrassing moment.
No, I think it was peeing my pants and my most embarrassing moment.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're talking again.
Yeah.
That's Can I do that? Okay.
Give him a round of applause, you guys. Come on. This is not easy. Take your time.
And most embarrassing moment, pee your pants is put them together.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was waiting for my mom to pick me up from confirmation class. And I'm like, I need to pee really, really bad. I've waited the whole class, and it's maybe 8 o'clock now. Where I live, there aren't really, or where that church was, there aren't really things around. There may be smoke shops and such, but I'm not going to ask if I could use a bathroom. And my mom also expects me to be at a certain place, and I keep calling her, and she's just not picking up for whatever reason. So I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna have to run home, right? So I start running home, which will be 2 miles from there. And I'm like, oh, the more that I push with my legs, the more I have to pee. And I see a building nearby. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to pee near that building. But then there are these overhead lights. And I'm like, oh, if I pee here, I might be arrested for public exposure, right? So I'm like, oh, instead of pulling my penis out and peeing, I'll just stand here and urinate. So I face the wall. It's peeing. And I'm hoping that nobody sees me. And then I don't even have a quarter, so I'm like, well, I can't walk in this, so I'm gonna try to catch the Dash, which is a metro, a very close bus. So I get on the Dash and I feel the piss, and I hope that nobody gets on. And then I get home and I'm like, Mom, why didn't you pick me up? And she's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, prelude. And then that was training for a job that I would have later where I had 12-hour shifts, and I was the only one working with Prologue. And I couldn't leave the gas station to pee because I was the only one working, and my boss didn't like that I would miss a customer and not attend them, right? So I would hold my pee and poo for 12 hours at a time. Is that 2 minutes yet?
I love that, of course. But I do believe, because it's at the 2-minute thing, I'm going to be prescriptive. I really believe every great pee story has to start with a minute description of what you're wearing. Am I right? It's got to be, I was wearing white pants and a blue, you got to really lay out the detail. I just think that's an important part of the genre, if you will. So I think that, I think that's the, start with what were you wearing at the confirmation?
Blue jeans.
Oh. Well, the confirmation. Oh, class.
Yeah.
Okay. Blue that gets very sticky and very, that's very,
And
that's
then I
very
realized I just come out with that dye where it turns green if you're pissing yourself.
you see, more, the slow motion, the heat of the pee. Okay. Thank you. Otherwise, much enjoyed.
Right.
Blaine.
You could have just gotten your penis out and beat on the Dash bus. I think the only thing, the smartest thing you did in that story was not ask the smoke shop if you could use their bathroom. Because that would have been another diarrhea story. But I'm amazed that, you did kind of do the pee and poo thing at the end there, because you gotta, you pee and then you poo. Did you shit your pants when you peed against the building?
No.
You're thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but no, I have pretty good anal control.
Absolutely, too. You guys have amazing.
Give him the cookies, Danny. Give him the cookies.
Let's take a look at that clip. That's a great story. And you nailed the time. Great job.
Great job. Danny.
Amazing. And I think in a way you overtook my note because I wish that was just a little more Mexican. No, it's a great story, fun, and it ends with like parental neglect and abuse. Cheered everybody up. I mean, remember to pick you up. But you're a problem solver, you know. You don't want to take your dick out, and of course, just pee in your pants. So you were a sub kid, right? No, you were great. You're a good storyteller. You feel like a plant here. That was like a ringer. You came up and really nailed this. So good job.
Great job, Joe. Oh, it's all so exciting. There's only one name left in the Story Smash Can of Truth. So coming up right now for a true 2-minute story is Josh Mann.
Be like Derringer condoms.
I love the hubris of anyone who can flex on their anal control seconds after an uncontrollable diarrhea.
I got to take points off because you stepped on the blade and I was on you. So, you know, let's
Can I hear it again?
rookie move.
I'll spin it. I'll do it
No,
again.
you can't respin.
Yeah. Spin that wheel.
So, oh, you're going to do it again? What is it?
I was going to say Derringer condoms, protection for the smaller gentleman.
Oh, wow. Plus he landed in our audience, so that makes it even more fun. What kind of stories you guys want to hear?
Choo-choo trains.
That's my bitch. That's it.
What else? Bike rides.
Surgery.
First car. Surgery. First car.
Emergency work.
Crayola crab.
Born again. Sporting accident.
Disease.
Surprise mark.
I mean, cheese.
Bachelor.
Disease, breakup, sporting accident.
Divorce.
Hey, what do you like?
Size.
Yeah, we have enough now. What do you pick up? What do you think?
I'll do breakdowns.
Okay.
Wait a second. Is that allowed when you do that? Because it's already on the wheel.
Oh, it is breakups on the wheel?
Yes, it is. It is. It's on the wheel. It's on the wheel.
I tell my emergency.
We got to go to
I have a different one. What's the different one?
emergency room. Emergency room.
What's been there?
Divorce. Crazy crime.
You want one of those?
Diseases.
I'll do diseases.
Okay. Disease.
All right.
Grateful. The longest relationship I've ever had was 10 years. About 5 years in, my girlfriend told me she'd been diagnosed with Huntington's disease. For those of you who don't know, Huntington's is a terminal illness, and it's basically like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's had a baby. The symptoms are volatility, irrationality, and then ultimately death. And she would forget who I was routinely. She would forget where she was. And guys, I don't know if like at 2 a.m. in your apartment, a naked woman's ever wanted to leave your apartment because she's in it with a man she's never met before and you're trying to physically restrain her. But guys, if you've ever been there, you're probably a monster. Like my situation's the only one where that makes sense. Then it got untenable and I couldn't handle it anymore. So I went to her ex-husband, divorce pulling, and asked for help. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, guy. And she had made it all up. She made up the disease, faked the symptoms. And the night I finally confronted her, we were eating Reuben sandwiches. And I said, I know you're not sick. And she denied it several times. And then finally, just like, I know I've been talking to your ex. There are no doctors. You don't have the disease. And she started screaming. I did it because I was afraid of losing you. And then she hit me in the head with the Reuben sandwich. And then the police came. And then they arrested her for domestic abuse. And I guess assault with a delicious Sammy. As a charge. And after a lot of therapy and a lot of growth and a lot of anger and a lot of confusion, I've finally come to the place where, I don't know, I think I might be ready to try another Reuben sandwich.
Well, that's like in the Great British Baking Show. It's kind of I shake your hand. That was I shake your hand in the Great British Baking Show. That was the greatest story ever told, and the Moses story. No, it was great. I love the deep dive at the beginning of like the Huntington's. The minute and a minute 4, you revealed that the disease was fake. So it was like and just the wonderful deep dive of the Huntington's and Parkinson's and the slower, and then the Reuben sandwich. I don't know, it was like fantastic. And you nailed it. You nailed the time. So, and I knew the Reuben sandwich when it first came out. It was so weird. And it was like they had Reuben sandwiches the second that she hit them. And then the third that he will have another Reuben sandwich. So you worked in rule of 3 and the Reuben, like it was such a real scene. See the middle of the first minute the turn comes at 104 and then the rule of 3, the Reuben sandwich is kind of perfect story.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It was hilarious. A woman pretending she was dying because she didn't want to lose you. Funny. And then it turns out she's not dying. She's got Munchausen. And you've got it by proxy.
Yes.
It was amazing. And the part where Robin Williams' head flew off and it was like in a million, that it had everything. And here's my question. What was it, a pastrami or a turkey Reuben?
It was pastrami.
Oh.
Not for
That's good, because turkey will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll over to Astro Diner after this. We're going to try to kill you with a turkey. They have a good turkey Reuben over there. That was a fantastic. Great display.
All right.
Here's what's amazing about that story and that performance is you came up here, you stepped on Blaine. Everybody in this room I was like, oh, this poor guy, and you think, and then they're already hating you, and then you launch into a very depressing story about a girlfriend who's dying, and that you could turn it around and have, so far, in my opinion, like the story, that's amazing. So, yeah, I hate you less than I did. Right? I'm telling you that. That makes me laugh. But like,
exciting part of the show where the judges will take the Story Smash can of truth and 4 names, and they'll only be putting 2 names in the can to go on to the 3rd round. But what has to happen first, Danny?
Oh, a word from our sponsors, which means we're taking a true 5. Outside, we're going to grab a 10 minute. A 10 minute. Okay, good. I'll give you time to pay. I'm also, like that guy's going, I'm having a prostate issue. And then we'll
see you guys in 10 minutes. Thank you. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Story Smash for the 3rd round. This is probably the most exciting round because only 2 of our contestants go on and do a true 3-minute story. So we can't wait to find out who is going on and who is possibly going to be winning the Story Smash Hat of Truth and like a little bit of cookies.
Can I say something?
Please do.
Everybody on the show tonight was fantastic. It was a very hard thing. And the crowd tonight is a lot of fun. So thank you. If you park within 3 blocks of this place, your car is gone.
All right, you guys, coming up for a true 3-minute story is Josh Mann.
This has been brought to you by Carl's III. If it does not get all over the place, it simply does not belong in one's face.
Rinka. All right.
Well, I feel like we told the big one.
That's not my problem, friend.
Ouch.
All right. I dated an evangelical pastor. Well, for two reasons. One, British accent. Goes a long way, the English accent. And the other is like, I've always felt like I knew I could make a woman leave another man for me. But to pick me over Christ? Yeah. That was something I needed to do. It was during COVID. She was unvaxxed. She really believes strongly in it, too. Not a fan of science or the killing of babies. Two things I love. Like, really, if that's my epitaph. But he died the way he lived. Loving science and murdering babies. She, I don't know how to do this delicately. It's a little dirty and I don't want to offend anyone. But she was, how do I say this? Like giving my penis a warm hug with her mouth hands. What was that? Yeah, that word. And she's doing it great. It was wonderful. And at the end of it, she apologized. And I was like, I don't think you have anything to be sorry for. I thought you aces. That's a review I would give it. And she said no, because I was afraid of shedding from the vaccine, so I didn't want any of it in my mouth. She was afraid she would catch the vaccine to COVID from my ejaculate. Which, by the way, I looked into a market for that. I got vaxxed early, and I was like, lady, you're looking for some protection. I've got a surefire way to boost you up. I got this covered. And we ultimately broke up shortly after that. Shit. I got 30 more seconds. Another breakup.
Why did you break up?
We broke up because she loved Christ and she was ultra conservative. And she actually like totally downplayed it when we first met. She was like, no, I'm just a writer. I didn't find out she was a pastor until like 3 months in. Yeah. I know. I like Betsy Ross could make me a red flag and I'd ignore it.
So many questions again. I'm still reeling, putting the parts together, that story, but I gotta say, and now gonna get even more judgmental, the 3-minute story. When you said, it's gonna be dirty, but I'm gonna say it in another way. And it was, I was like disturbing. And then you said hugging your penis with her mouth. That sounds disgusting. That's an impression of Christ looking down behind ramps and lots of children and Megan Barbie. It was so awful. And then somebody said blowjob, it was like triple inside. So never do that again. But I may say to whatever you said, you know what I'm saying?
I do, except all I heard was always do it. Always say mouth hand.
Who told you this shit?
Who told me what?
To say mouth hands?
Oh, me. My brain. My brain made that.
Blink a bash.
Hey, did she have that British accent with your dick in her mouth?
Just as by now.
Hey,
Seems like you lose a part of the trunk there if you get any accent. Hey, what's that, Mr. Bean? Have you thought about getting a measles vaccine and heading down to San Antonio? Johnny Blank Seat, dude. That had everything. It had mouth hands. It's like it's just like getting it's like getting a reach around from Paul the Octopus. Big soccer winners. That was great, but I do disagree with your stance on vaccines. Great job. That was very funny.
All right.
The flagship. Yeah,
Sure. Why not? It was free. Danny Zucker.
well, I believe it's called the cock lozenge. Because they're like children here. So, I exactly Sandra's response. Precisely. Well, remind me. So, a couple years back, I was fucking Joe Rogan. The idea that you think you can catch a vaccine when you can't catch COVID is so bananas. It's over. Yeah. Everything's over. We're gone. Oh God. Also, I like how long you hung in there with a clearly awful person. And I really respected that because I've stuck with an anti-Semitic person. That was me. That was me. But God, your mouth hands are spectacular. We will say so good. No, it was good. And I didn't notice at all that you utterly altered your piece of storytelling in the second 3-minute story. Suddenly it was very deliberate, but I respected it because you were funny. So there you go.
All right. We only have one storyteller left, and I did want to tell you guys the next show is Friday, August 8th. Friday, August 8th. Save the date, mark the calendar. Friday, August 8th. Oh yeah, look at that, 8. You guys, big round of applause for the final storyteller of the night, who is our audience member.
So brought to you by Southwest Airlines After Dark. Flight attendants prepare for the D.
Audience. Oh man.
High speed train.
You already landed on it.
One more time.
Tell what to do. Again.
Aioli. Ruin it with aioli.
Good morning, weird.
Last year I joined the wild and crazy world of what are called verticals. There are these like novella type series that you're supposed to watch in portrait mode on your phone, and everyone's getting exploited left and right. PAs are making under like $200 for a 12-14 hour day. I've done like 29 of them thus far in the past year. Yeah. These producers are so cheap. They don't have gas or anything, but they'll let you stay on location if it's like a really far away set. So we're in this set in Santa Ana, and we're there for 5 days. And I'm like, I'm gonna get into some trouble here. I'm gonna see if I can flirt with somebody. So I was like, would be the most awful? Like, who shouldn't I flirt with? And it was turns out it was a producer. I was like, hey, I'm gonna flirt with, start flirting with her and such. And eventually, I'm like, oh, hey, after we wrap, you should probably come to my room. She's like, yeah, okay. Right. We ended up wrapping like at midnight o'clock. And I'm like, oh, it's like, we're all like really sleepy, but people are still like working, and like she's bunking with a couple of other crew members, and she's like, I can't go to your room right now. I have to wait for them to fall asleep, right? Or else they'll notice. So I'm like waiting for like an hour. It's like 1 a.m. now. Then it's like 2 a.m. She's like, I promise I'll get away from them, right? And I end up falling asleep, but I make my door open.
Oh,
And then she, at one point, comes in, and I go, ah! I let out a real scream in this like mansion that we were staying in, and she goes, and closes the door and like runs out. And you know, then I quickly go on my phone, and I'm like, come back. And she's like, everybody heard that. I'm not gonna go back. She's like, I barely made it to my room before somebody else came out. And I was like, oh, okay. So then the next day we completely wrap like the thing, and I'm like, what do you sleep through my room right now? And she's like, for sure. And then we're like, you know, getting a little handsy. Hey, you want to like fuck in the bathroom real quick? And she slaps me. What? And I was like, what? This is like the time you do this. This is we've waited 5. You know, we all had to wait 5 hours, 12 hours a day to, you know, have sex. That's what you get into the business for. And I didn't tell her that. She's like, are you serious? Are you seriously asking that? I was like, yeah. And then she goes, okay. She starts kissing me. And I was like, so are we going to have sex? She's like, no. And then I drove home.
I worked on a Quibi show, but I didn't fuck anyone. I wish I would have known that was an option with Virgils. Notice a lot of your stories have peeing on location. That's good. Flirting in Santa Ana, that's great, because you got the wins. That's great every 7 years. Really. What I really love, that was a great story. It ended well with a disappointing drive home, like the end of The Last American Virgin. I don't know if you remember that. How fucking disappointing that was. People in the audience went, what? Bad ending for that movie. But your story had something I don't think I've ever seen in this show. We've been doing this show for years. A honest to God jump scare.
So thank you for that, because I peed again. I peed me. I'm like a dog. Great job, Joe. Thanks for being here.
Great job. Andy Kruger.
And another really good story, just like coming out there, and it rang true to my life, and it was like you didn't get to come, which felt really. That felt like a play. That's I want to see that. It's like, there's not enough apologies. Exactly the opposite. It's like 2 minutes to make it happen in an hour of fucking, and normally for me it's like 2 hours to make it happen. A fucking, but really, no, it was a great story. I legitimately had a very similar thing happen to me in college. That like, I fell asleep on it was like a girl who was talking to see me, and she came in, and apparently when I was asleep, she was waking. She came in, she woke me up. I didn't do that, but I was apparently crying in my sleep. And I was like, I wasn't crying, and I was like, tears coming out. It's like, and she did. I think he turned her off a little bit. I never saw her again. But great job, good story.
And Sandra.
Okay, again, I'm giving notes on story part 3. Okay, you know what? I need to know what her name was. Maybe that's her name. You know, Darlene, Shelley Ann, Renee. That's important. The hairstyle is important. Come on, ladies. Let's these are like dangly earrings. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? The weird stringy top, the side boot. Like, what was she wearing? You know what I'm talking about. We want to know. as the ladies. Side boob, what?
I want to keep being exploited by her, so I can't give more information as to who she is. But I will tell you that she is a break dancer. And then after we didn't have sex, I was like, maybe that's okay.
I also felt like pushy for too, because in the room with the roommates and stuff like that, it was a little, I was like, trying to get a fix on that. Okay. But other than that, good story. I thought to kind of wind it all together, maybe a trip to Tijuana, what happened to the dog, prostate cancer, and a can of peaches, diarrhea, where would that come into play?
I believe it's pronounced
Diarrhea.
And so at the end, the button is kind of like you're going home, and then Hong Kong, it's your mother to drive you home. Wouldn't that be?
Let him hear you guys. I just think holy cow. Wow.
When you're sliding in the verse and your pants begin to burst. Diarrhea.
You guys, we're going to put a minute on the clock. These guys are going to decide who's taking home all the cookies and the Story Smash Adam Truth. And I want to remind you guys that this show will be up on a Story-Worthy podcast this Tuesday. Woo! You know, I've been doing Story-Worthy for 15 years, you guys. Woo! 15 years. I have made hundreds of dollars. Thank you. The next show is going to be right here, August 8th. It's a Friday night at 7:30. And a big round of applause to all of the storytellers tonight. Janelle Lincoln, Chris Knox, Josh Mann, and of course Joe, our audience member. And a big round of applause for Danny Cooper.
Oh, and a big hand to Christine. And to you guys, help yourself. And the troops.
And the crew of the wonderful Lyric Hyperion.
Okay,
And
so.
first responders.
And the first responders. Okay, Sandra, was this a difficult decision?
It was really difficult, and you were going to say you were outvoted.
No, I'm not even saying.
I was outvoted from the beginning. I have so many comments that I must keep to myself. So yeah, it was really difficult, and I think we were kind of like arguing and threatening with them. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
So.
Lean and I are not talking.
All right. Well,
What?
Sandra, why don't you tell us who is taking home all the cookies? And will this winner please come to the stage for a photo?
It shouldn't be like a La La Land thing like that. Very similar names, if I may, right? We have Josh and Joe.
I know. You're right.
That's like totally. I believe we went with.
Tonight our winner is Joe.
Give it